all my beautiful souls, and welcome back to Sunrise Tarot. My name is Leah, and today I'm doing a reading for the beautiful sign of Aries for the month of October 2022. As you know, dear Aries, this is a general reading, so there will be parts that may not resonate with you. Only take the parts that do resonate and leave the rest for someone else. I've already shuffled the cards, I've already meditated on the cards, and this is a spread that I have for you today. In the past position, we have the Emperor, clarified by the King of Cups. In the challenging position, we have the Eight of Pentacles, clarified by the Seven of Cups. In the present position, we have the Ace of Swords, clarified by the Empress. And in the future outcome position, we have the Devil, clarified by the Two of Pentacles. Very interesting spread. Let's get right into it. I will just mention that you do have the Emperor, which is a major arcana card, as well as the Empress, which is another major arcana card, and the Devil. So the major arcana cards are significant. There is a strong indication that things are coming together for you in the month of October, but the end of October is definitely going to be interesting, but we'll get into that later. So in the past position, you have the Emperor and the King of Cups. Very powerful combination. The Emperor is someone who is an authority figure. He's all about pure authority. He's pure dominance. He understands discipline better than anyone else. He understands structure better than anyone else. And so maybe in the past you held a position of power. Maybe in the past you were able to kind of be the boss, and you also had this compassionate side. You know, you also welcomed intuition and kind of tried to follow it as well, because the King of Cups, he's all about intuition. He's really great at controlling his emotions. He's, you know, the very best, in fact, because around him we see this water that is representing, like, you know, chaotic energy happening around the King of Cups, and yet he remains steadfast and calm as well. The Emperor, the reason I really like the Emperor card, because he's all about stability. He's all about stability. Sorry, I had to stop for a second and yell at my cat because she has a little scab and she keeps picking at it, which worries me. But back to the Emperor. The Emperor has a lot of authority. He is considered to be the ruler. We have him sitting on this throne, you know, which represents him being the one in charge. And we see one ram, another ram. There's two more rams at the top of his throne. And of course, that represents you, Aries. And he also, the Emperor, is holding this Egyptian looking symbol, which I believe is the Ankh, which represents life, in if you look up things from Egyptian history. And so when you combine the Ankh and the ram, that actually creates God Amun-Ra from the Egyptian history. And Amun-Ra is kind of like the same as Zeus for the Greeks. You know, Zeus, who has like the position of being the number one god, if you will. And so the Emperor definitely has a lot of power at his disposal, because he has been through different challenges in his life that has made him, you know, so powerful, because he learned really well and strategized really well. He follows logic and rationale better than intuition. Like, he's not very intuitive person, but the King of Cups is. Both of these are authority figures, and so definitely when you receive this combination, it's telling me that you are moving down the right path. You are moving towards, some of you, a resolution of a difficult conflict. Some of you are moving towards greater responsibility, and some of you are moving towards greater advancement as well. So it's a really powerful combination that is setting you up for success, dear Aries. In the challenging position, we have the Eight of Pentacles, which tells me you're probably tired. You've been working at something and working and working. You're not really seeing the results. And so when you get the Eight of Pentacles in the challenging position, it's telling me that you have allowed some negative energies to take hold. You may be, feeling less motivated when applying yourself in your work, or when you are trying to manifest something that you really want to see in your life. And so it's important to stay committed to the task at hand and to put enough effort, even though you may not feel super passionate about whatever it is that you're putting your effort in. And you gotta be open to take advice. Sometimes when we get aggravated by something we've been doing, for a long while, we can be so aggravated that we don't listen to other people, or, we don't open our heart to maybe advice that can actually be useful. It's important to remember that, you've really have put in a lot of time and energy. So if there's good advice, you should, make sure to kind of hear it out. We also have the Seven of Cups in the clarifying position, which definitely tells me that there's lack of balance at something you're doing. And then you may also be distracted as well. So you really want to disconnect and detach from your routine for a day or two, so that you can kind of create better passion and reconnect to something that really means a lot to you. So do and try to make sure that your emotions are balanced as it relates to this specific thing that you're working on, because it will then turn into success. When you become kind of unmotivated and resentful when you have to work on something, it's important to recalibrate your energy and recalibrate your frequency so that you can be successful. And we do see that you are successful. You have the Ace of Swords, which is a card of victory. We see this sword goes through the crown. The crown represents victory, but also these six flames, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, are related to the Six of Wands card, which is a card of victory and recognition and success. And so the Ace of Swords here, dear Aries, you are getting this card because you are in a breakthrough moment. Either your communication has reached the right people, or the communication that you received has reached you at the right time. And so there's no such thing as coincidence. Remember to pay attention to the signs. Remember to pay attention to what people say to you, even if you do not like them. Remember to pay attention to the signs, to conversations, to people you see. If you're walking down a street and you look up and you see 3 birds flying together, that's also a sign. When you turn on your radio and you hear a particular song, that's also a sign. And remember, you're not going to miss your signs, because they're going to get louder until you literally get them. But the Ace of Swords is a really powerful card. Because the divine here is literally giving you a sword. You take that sword and you cut down what is no longer serving you. That means if you feel like you are being blocked, or there's a wall in front of you, you just take that sword and you just destroy that wall, because the sword is justice. So you are taking justice basically into your own hands, and you are getting rid of what you don't need. If there's a door in front of you that's closed, you open it with your sword. The sword helps, is what I'm saying. But, I should say, don't take justice in your own hands if you can help it. Sometimes we do need to go through the legal channels, and, there's law and order for a reason. But, justice, sometimes you have to take your own power back, Sometimes you have to create justice for yourself. And so that definitely requires effort from you, if you will. It's interesting that you have have the Empress in the clarifying position, and in this particular combination, the Empress signifies possessions, and so signifies like everything that you have in your home, everything that's important to you. So you are seeing something you didn't see before, and you are kind of in a period of change where you are becoming aware, and you are coming to terms and accepting something, but you're also creating a better life for yourself when it comes to your home, when it comes to the image, when it comes to the way people see you, when it comes to your family. There is a breakthrough, there's a change for the better for you in the month of October, dear Aries. We do, however, see that towards the end of the month, and we already knew that it was going to be a turbulent period, because I don't know if you remember, but I did annual readings. I generally do them in the month of December. And so in the month of December, when I did the annual readings, I did mention that the period, the time period of end of October through December is going to be somewhat up and downish, kind of. Let's say that. But it is going to be a period where you may be tempted. That's why you have the devil. The devil represents temptation. He represents deception. He represents illusion. He represents being obsessed with someone or something, and kind of being influenced by something negative as well, because we focus our attention on things that ultimately will not bring us that may bring us a lesson. I should say that, because the devil is ruled by the Saturn, and Saturn is very rigid and very, like, it's the opposite of Jupiter. Jupiter is all about expansion, right? Saturn is very much like karma. Saturn kind of forces us to stay in this 3D reality and in our physical world, and address the issues in the physical world. And so, the devil then takes advantage of that, if you will. Look at your choices towards the end of October. Look at your motivations. And, you may also be paying off a little bit of karma. As I mentioned, the devil generally, he is very much about our ego, the lower portions of our ego, the most kind of not so pleasant portions of our ego. So watch the choices and make sure that you're not a slave to your ego, that you are thinking more long term, more spiritual, more that you're connecting with the divine, that you're connecting with something bigger than yourself, that you're not buying into the deception, that you're not buying into the illusion. If you don't need like, if it's not broken, don't fix it. If you don't need to purchase a new car, don't purchase it. If you don't need to buy a new house, don't buy it. If you don't need to spend money on, something, don't buy it. See what you can do with the things that you have. That way you're in control of the materialistic side of things. And I wouldn't advise necessarily to spend a whole lot of money between the end of October and the month of December. Save. Traveling is also going to be hard with everything that's going on, the prices of gas and all that. And, in the United States, there's a shortage of pilots and everything. See if you can travel by car, or maybe figure out a Skype or Zoom with your loved ones, or something where you can stay put and focus on long-term goals, because it does look like you're going to be adapting and maybe prioritizing some bills, because the Two of Pentacles tells me that you will have enough money for things that you need to pay, but there may be some flexibility that is required from you, where you have to be flexible in your thinking about where to spend the money. So try to do your best. But let's see what we can clarify with the Shaman Dream Oracle card that I pulled. And we have Falling Angel, Spiritual Narcolepsy. And I also pulled the what are they called? I'm sorry. It's like, um, what is it called? I gotta look it up. I can't remember. The mystical wisdom card, as well. Sorry, I'm getting old. I'm getting senile over here. The Falling Angel is a beautiful card that reminds you that you may have gotten to a comfort zone. Sometimes when, we get complacent, sometimes we get comfortable and we kind of stay in that comfort zone for a little while, things can blindside us. So the Falling Angel card is a reminder to pay attention. It's a reminder to be aware of things that are happening around you, to pay attention to the signs that you're receiving, and to kind of wake up from that comfort zone so that you are sharp and that you are flexible and that you're able to kind of take things on as they come at you in the month of October. And also to kind of take the time out to meditate and to connect with yourself, because you want to work on your spirit and determination. You want to heal the spirit. You want to build it up. You want to make it stronger. The way you make your inner voice stronger, the way you pay attention to your inner guidance is by, connecting with yourself. You don't need everything all the time. You can find a 10-minute window or a 20-minute window where you can just relax and find that stillness, the stillness that brings, the most important things to our minds, right? And it is important to remember that planet Earth is a fragile environment. So admiring the beauty, appreciating the small things, it is really very important. And we do have the competition from the Mystical Wisdom card, which says summon courage and self-confidence, because there are sometimes, there is a competition for resources, and so you will have to rely on your courage and determination and that structure and discipline that the emperor has brought to this spread in order to prevail, and remember to kind of stay above the interactions with other people. So, stay kind of like on your eagle's perch, meaning have a higher perspective of the situation. If you're able to kind of stand back and see the bigger picture, then you can maneuver the situation to your own advantage and be competitive that way. Because sometimes we get too close to the situation and we start to feel way too strongly or sensitively about something. It's important to step back. It's important to cultivate courage. It's important to cultivate, willpower and delay gratification, and make sure that you have your long-term goals and that you are kind of tending to those seeds. A goal is a seed and you have to water it. You have to make sure there's no weeds growing around it, right? You have to pay attention to it. In Aries, you definitely have what it takes in order to be very competitive and to come out strong and number one from that competition. I hope you enjoyed this reading. If you did, please like, share, and subscribe. Please don't forget to visit me on Instagram, and I hope to see you next time. Thank you so much.